I'm Jeff Paur, senior writer for RealTime Fantasy Sports, and welcome to another edition of the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. On today's show, I'm joined by my son, Henry.
Hi.
And we're here to preview the receiver position for the upcoming 2021 fantasy football season. We're going to preview all the positions. We're going to post them in our draft guide. Henry wanted to do the receiver position first, correct?
Yeah.
So we're going to tackle this one first. It's in our free draft guide. Also, we'll post this to the site as well. You can see this on our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that as well to get updates whenever one of our videos is posted. But this is primarily for our draft guide, which we are super proud of. It is on our site. It's totally free. It has a ton of information in there. It also is an app as well. You can download the app in the App Store if you're on your iPhone or you have an Android. It's in there. You can download the RealTime Fantasy Sports Draft Guide app, and you can see this great content in there. It's totally free. We're really proud of it. A lot of great information in there. Help you get ready for your fantasy football season.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we wanted to mention, don't forget about our leagues. We have tons of leagues going off here at RealTime Fantasy Sports. If you're not in a commissioner service, which we love as well, we're very proud of our commissioner service. But if you want to get in a money league, we have tons of different price points to get in, different formats. Our best ball league, we have big time championships, our best ball championship. You can get in our fantasy championship as well, which is a great high stakes contest for a chance to win $300,000. Just a lot of great contests here at RealTime Fantasy Sports. Sign up for one today. Drafts are going off all the time. All right, Henry, let's dive into the receiver preview now for 2021. This is the receiver preview. We're going to talk about a few different categories. We're going to talk about targets, people you're avoiding, late round gambles, and rookies as well. So let's jump right into it. First of all, just the position in general, Henry. I don't know about you, but this year, I think this receiver position is really, really deep. What are your feelings on it?
It's very deep this year. Like in most leagues, I would not take a wide receiver, mostly in the first round, unless you get Devonta Smith late. But it's deep this year. There's a lot of options to go with this year.
Yeah, I've done a few drafts already, and with how deep it is and how many, it's not just deep. Usually it's deep every year, but I feel like it's really deep with a lot of good options that you can get a little later, like in that 15 ranking area, 14, 15, 16 guys that'll still produce like number one fantasy receiver. So like you said, I'm not really going too early on receiver this year just because I feel like it's so deep. You can get so many great options. I'm going to load up on running back early just because there's more uncertainty and I don't feel quite as confident about that position. So for me this year, I'm going to wait a little bit on receiver because of all the great options, especially at the top.
Yeah.
Same for you?
Yeah, I'm waiting on receivers. You got a lot of options. Like you said, there's a lot of guys that could be number one receivers. You can get later in drafts.
Okay, let's talk about targets. I'm going to give you three guys. I'll go first with my top target, A.J. Brown. Absolutely love Brown this year. He had knee issues last year, but he still played through those issues and produced big. He was 11th overall in fantasy receiver scoring despite missing 2 games. He has next to no competition for work in Tennessee because Corey Davis is gone. Sorry, forgot his name for a second. So that's a big chunk of targets gone. So A.J. Brown's getting all the work. Jonnu Smith is also gone. I know he's not a receiver, but he was a tight end, got targets as well. So he has very little competition for targets. I think he's going to rack up the targets, just have a monster year. I absolutely love A.J. Brown. I think he'll be top 5 this year. How about you, Henry?
I have Robert Woods. The last 2 seasons, he was 14th overall in fantasy receiver scoring. And now you're adding a solid quarterback and Matthew Stafford at offense. I think he can produce a lot. I think he's going to be a great fantasy receiver next year.
And he's one of those guys that we were just talking about. He's in that 15, 16 range at receiver, and he could end up producing like a number one, like a real solid number one. Okay, another one for me, another guy I'm targeting, DJ Shark. DJ Shark, do. You got that?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I had to do it. It just sticks in my head. I apologize for that. So, but I love DJ Shark. Bit of a disappointment last year, but he had some injury issues. Also, inconsistent quarterback play. This year, he gets Trevor Lawrence. That's a huge upgrade for Shark. He was also targeted 93 times last year. Problem was he connected on just 53 of those targets. So he got a ton of work, just didn't always connect with those quarterbacks. This year he gets Trevor Lawrence. I think that's a huge upgrade. I'm expecting really big things from DJ Shark. Another guy you can get a little after those top guys are gone. And I've been targeting a lot in my early drafts. How about another target for you, Henry?
I have Calvin Ridley. He's coming off a huge season last year. I know he had some injury issues, but I mean, he was the number one guy there for a while. He had a lot of production last year. And if they're trading away Julio Jones, it sounds like it might happen. He's gonna get tons of work next year. I think he can be a top 5 wide receiver next year. I think he'll be produce great next year.
This year.
This year, sorry.
No, I agree with you. He could end up being number one if they end up trading Jones, which is very possible. Last target for me, Henry, I'll give you one more. Deebo Samuel. Really like him. I like him more than Brandon Ayuk. I might be in the minority here, but I just think Samuel's more talented and he's cheaper. So right now, Samuel's has an 84 ADP compared to a 66 for Ayuk. Injury is really the only thing holding back Samuel. Samuel, super talented. I really think he's in that DK Metcalf, AJ Brown territory when it comes to talent. Just love him when he's on the field. It's just his injury issues have been the thing holding him back. He just needs to stay on the field. I think it's more of a fluke than something that's going to be a consistent issue for him throughout his career as well. I think he's going to be on the field this year, going to have a huge year. Another guy I'm getting, after some of those elite guys are off the board and even some of the secondary options as well, because he has an 84 ADP right now. So I really like Samuel a lot this year. Okay, Henry, the flip side. Guys you're avoiding this year. I'll go first. You just talked about him a little bit. Julio Jones. I really don't want any part of him. I know that he still produced big just a couple seasons ago, but last year couldn't stay on the field. He's 32 years old. And even the last couple seasons, injuries have been an issue for him. He's played through them a lot, but still too high of a price tag for me, 43 ADP. I'm not sure where he's going to end up. He could stay in Atlanta. He'll get a lot of volume there of work, but still wonder about him staying healthy, especially at his age. I just don't think he's worth the price of 43 ADP right now. How about you, Henry? Any guys you don't want any part of?
I don't want any part of Kenny Gallaudet. I know he's in a new offense where, like, he wasn't probably going to produce in Detroit anymore with Stafford gone. And now he's in New York with Daniel Jones, who I do not like whatsoever. I have no faith in him. And Gallaudet also battled injuries the whole season last year. He played maybe 2, 4, 5 games last year, which that's not a lot. And I have no faith in Gallaudet this year.
All right. So you're avoiding Kenny Gallaudet. A guy I'm avoiding, a lot of people are high on. I actually think he's really talented, but I think it's more of an issue of getting the work. It's Jamar Chase. Again, I think he's the most talented receiver in the rookie draft, in the draft this year out of all the rookie receivers. I'm not going to dispute his talent. I think he's really talented. He has T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd to compete with for targets. I'm just not sure he's going to be able to live up to the hype with those two around him this year. I think he'll get some work, have some big games, but I'm not seeing a Justin Jefferson type season from Chase this year. Jefferson was my top target at receiver last year out of the rookies. I will toot my own horn there. I will say that I had him as my top target. I did miss on others. I'm not going to deny that, but I love Jefferson because of the situation he was in.
Yeah.
He was stepping right into an offense where he was going to start. He had just one other player to compete with for targets, and he was in a pass-happy offense that liked to target the receivers and was in a great spot. I don't think Chase is in quite the same situation. I'm not sure he's going to be able to live up to the hype, and so I just don't want him on my team because of his current price tag as well. All right, Henry, another guy you're avoiding.
Michael Thomas. He was a huge bust for me last year, and I don't want any part of him this year. He's got no more Drew Brees, which is going to be a huge, I don't think you're going to want him there because of that. You're going to have Taysom Hill as your quarterback if you have Michael Thomas. I don't like that whatsoever. And he had such bad injury issues last year, which it really showed on him in the playoffs, I thought, too. I don't want any part of Michael Thomas this year.
All right, you're avoiding Michael Thomas. He's probably going to come a little cheaper. You still don't want any part of him.
No.
He burnt you last year, and you don't want to deal with that again.
I don't want to deal with that whatsoever.
Okay, one more guy I'll give you that I'm avoiding, CeeDee Lamb with Dallas. Again, I like him. I think he's talented. Yeah. I just don't like his situation. I just don't think he's going to be in that elite category of receivers, and that's how you kind of have to draft him. Amari Cooper is Dak Prescott's guy. Also has Michael Gallup, Ezekiel Elliott to compete with for touches in that offense. He has an ADP of 46. You got to take him pretty early. I just think he'll be too up and down for me to depend on. Maybe in a best ball format, I feel more comfortable with Lamb, but in standard leagues, I just don't like him. I just think he'll be too up and down in that offense. All right, Henry, how about some late round gambles? These are guys that you can get late in your draft. You want to take a chance on somebody you think is going to hit big. Give me somebody.
I have Christian Kirk. I think he's a chance to have a bigger role with Larry Fitzgerald gone, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And AJ Green is the other one. I'm not sold on him. I mean, he was pretty injury prone last year, and when he did play, I didn't think he looked good whatsoever. So I think the only person he really has to compete with is DeAndre Hopkins, and I think he could be a good solid number 2, number 3. I would like to take a gamble on him in my late rounds.
I like that call on Christian Kirk. I've been getting him a lot in my early drafts as well. Another guy kind of hit on this situation a lot, but his ADP is really, really low right now. It's Russell Gage. So Julio Jones could be traded, like we've alluded to. That would make Gage the starter. He has a 174 ADP right now. Remember when Gage played last year, he did well. He was the starter for them much of the year with Jones banged up. He had 9 games with double-digit fantasy points, showed some real potential in that offense. It's a pass-first offense. You can get Gage for next to nothing right now. I really think that's going to change as the season draws near.
Yeah.
So for now, I think he's just tremendous value, and I'm getting him in most of my leagues as we speak. How about another guy you're targeting late in drafts, Henry?
I have Darnell Mooney. He only has Allen Robinson to compete with, and I've seen a lot of talent from him, and he showed big time potential last year. And I think you had a guy like Justin Fields, who I think is really gonna perform this year. If they start him, he has a lot of potential. I think he could get a lot of work and be a great wide receiver, number 2, number 3. I'm definitely gonna try to take a gamble on him.
Okay, I got another one for you. Gabriel Davis. I like him a lot. I know Emmanuel Sanders siding with Buffalo, but I'm not sold on Sanders. He's getting older, didn't show me much last year, and he was a top target for New Orleans much of the year with Thomas out. Didn't do a whole lot. Davis, meanwhile, had 8 games with double-digit fantasy points his rookie year. He's a top red zone target because of his size, very good on the deep route as well. His ADP is 210. I think he's definitely worth a gamble in that offense. It's very explosive, and I like his potential to do good things and eventually pass Sanders up on the depth chart.
Yeah.
I got one more for you, Henry.
Okay.
Josh Reynolds. I like him a lot with starting opposite A.J. Brown. I know I just kind of downed the Titans passing game saying I like Brown a lot because they don't have much opposite of him. But Reynolds is the guy. And again, dirt cheap, 195 ADP. He's good at stretching the field, improving on his underneath routes. Somebody has to get to targets opposite A.J. Brown. I think Reynolds is going to be that guy. I don't like their tight end situation with Anthony Ferkser. So I think Reynolds is going to be number 2 on that team in targets at receiver and tight end. So I think, again, good gamble late in drafts, 195 ADP. Okay, let's talk about rookies. Everybody loves a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you like out of this rookie receiver class, Henry?
Well, I think this is the obvious choice. It's going to fit right in, be a number 1. It's Devonta Smith. He immediately is going to be the top target in Philadelphia. And Jalen Hurts is the guy that I thought he showed some potential in there if he could get a good wide receiver in there. You had Devonta Smith, who won the Heisman last year. I think he has great potential to be a great wide receiver in this NFL. And I mean, I think he's going to fit right in that offense, and I think he's going to be a great fit. And he's a rookie that I really like this year.
I like Smith a lot, too. He's my top-rated rookie. He stole my thunder there. I think he could be this year's Justin Jefferson, really have a big year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you another rookie I like, Kedarius Tony with the New York Giants. He has a lot to compete with for targets. I know that, but I think he's going to quickly emerge and have a role in this offense. He's a playmaker, great fit for the slot. I think he'll have that slot role for the New York Giants, and I think he's going to have some big games this year. Really makes a lot of plays after the catch, very explosive, and I think he's going to become a favorite target of Daniel Jones in a hurry. Daniel Jones, one of your favorite quarterbacks too, right?
I don't know about that.
Okay, how about another rookie, Henry? Give me one more.
I really like Elijah Moore. He is fast. He has great hands, good route runner. He's got all the abilities to be a great wide receiver in this league. I think he's going to fit right into the slot. Corey Davis and Crowder's still there, correct?
Yeah.
See, those are the only 2 people to compete with, and I feel like those aren't big people to compete with. Corey Davis could have a good year, and I think Crowder was that significant in that offense. And Zach Wilson's going to want to target some people. I think he could rack up the targets and be a great slot wide receiver.
I like that call with Elijah Moore. Definitely a good late round gamble. One more rookie for you, Henry. Jaylen Waddle. I know Waddle's in an offense not that exciting because Tua's there. I worry about him a little bit, but I think Waddle could be a good fit for Tua because he's a guy that can make plays on a short pass, turn it into a big play. I think he could be used a lot on those receiver screens, underneath routes as well. I think he'll get a lot of targets, going to quickly become a favorite target of Tua. He's explosive with the ball in his hands as well. So he's another rookie receiver that I like a lot this year. Okay, Henry, that's the receiver class, not receiver class, the receiver preview for 2021. What do you think?
I like it a lot this year. It's going to be great depth. I think you can really get good receivers this year.
Yep. A lot of depth, a lot of good players out there across the board. We got rookies, we got sleepers, we got, guys ready to emerge and have breakout years as well. It's a good year for the receivers in fantasy football. Most definitely. Correct.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our receiver preview. We'll be back with another preview in the coming days. Henry and I really appreciate you turning in. Again, don't forget to sign up for one of our leagues today. We have leagues going off every night, every day, during the day as well. We got slow drafts too, if you want to get in one of those. So different formats, different types of drafts, all sorts of things to do. Just go to rtsports.com and click on the Money League link and see those drafts today and sign up for one.
Yeah.
All right. That's our rookie, not rookie, I should say receiver preview for the 2021 season. We appreciate you joining us. This has been Jeff Paur for Real Time Fantasy Sports.
And Henry Paur.
Have a great day, everyone.